guys, welcome back. We got to preview Epic Universe before it officially opened. We were so lucky. We were invited out by different friends that work at Universal to be able to go preview. And this entire episode is going to be about all of our thoughts, strategies we think you should do for when you go, the rides we were able to do, rides that kept shutting down, the weather, shades, food, snacks, literally everything and anything. Like Shanique and I haven't even conversed about our days because we were in different groups and so we didn't really see each other. So like we're also going to be chatting about our experiences. I am so excited. But first, we have some comments, questions, concerns from you guys, and we want to start addressing them at the beginning of every episode because some of them are very sweet. Some of you guys had questions that we want to answer, and we want to do these every episode.
Yeah, so starting off, there was one question we got on our Spotify podcast video. And it was, should you be listening to the episode on Spotify or YouTube? And honestly, you guys, it's up to you what you guys want to listen to. We are on every single podcast network, so it doesn't just have to be Spotify or YouTube. We also are on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, probably some random one out there we don't even know about. We do post it to Spotify primarily. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Listen to it wherever you guys want to listen to us. Watch it wherever you guys want to listen to us. We started uploading the videos to Spotify, so now you can watch it on there too. But wherever you guys feel like listening to us, it's cool with us.
And then we also did get a really sweet DM from someone. I'm leaving it anonymous, but they just said, "Hi, I just wanted to reach out and say I started watching your podcast and thank you for your honesty and being raw and having conversations that most people are afraid to have. As a newer content creator in Orlando, I've experienced some of the things you guys have talked about on the podcast, but no one ever talks about it. Anyway, keep up the good work, and I can't wait to watch more podcast episodes." Thank you so much, bestie.
So sweet.
That's the goal. That's the goal, is to just be honest and open and talk about anything and everything.
Yes,
Like
literally
unfiltered.
greatest thing ever. Thank you so much. Like, seriously. And thank you for listening to us. Because I know sometimes we think we're just talking to ourselves. So we appreciate you. There's also one more that's actually a reference to one of our earlier episodes. Someone said they were listening to episode 2. And if you remember, we talked about the churros on there. And I was saying that I like the Disney churros, and you talked about wanting to try the churro waffles. Apparently, those suck. So,
Do they
FYI,
really?
she thought they were fine, but the texture for a waffle was kind of weird because it was super crunchy and the flavor wasn't super there. But she does love the Crystal Palace
Okay.
overall, but maybe not
Good
for
to
the
know.
churro waffles.
Well, then maybe I won't be running over there then to try those.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we also had one more on our YouTube.
It says, I enjoyed this insight from you guys. I want to grow my YouTube channel and show my life as a Florida native. I've been in Florida all my life and I've been nervous about walking around with a camera or making content unrelated to the theme parks. After watching this, I want to save up to buy a vlogging camera and create a schedule to start. Who cares about numbers when we can uplift each other? Sadly, Orlando is very toxic and has always been, but I've been here since I was 5 and I'm now 26. Being the ones who stand out and aren't toxic is the goal. Thank you all for the insight.
Oh my God. I'm gonna cry.
I'm glad that people are listening to this and are like, wait, no, I want to start making content and I want to make a difference and I want to start showing off like all that Orlando has. That's the goal. I hope more people are listening and think that way and want to start vlogging. Definitely don't feel nervous to start vlogging. I know I still feel sometimes a little weird when I'm outside of the theme parks vlogging, but like there's people everywhere with cameras here, so it really doesn't matter. So just pull out your phone, pull out your camera. Don't think that you need to buy a big vlogging camera to start. Just start, and it's fine and it's chill, and let us know when you do because I want to follow.
Yes, yes. Let us know when you create your accounts because we want to follow you guys. I think it's time. We
I
need
think
to
it's
get
time.
into Epic Universe. Okay.
My
Okay.
love letter to Epic.
Literally. I will be buying a day ticket once a month until it gets added to annual passes.
So something someone said actually about that is that when Volcano Bay opened, they also weren't offering an add-on to their annual pass until the day that it opened. Like when it officially day one was when they announced it. So I
Oh.
wonder if
You
that'll be
think
the same for Epic.
so you
Or
think it
like
must
maybe
be
it'll be like a month later, I don't know. But I that's what I'm fingers crossed hoping happens because it is my new favorite park. I will be
it is
there
okay.
every single day once it
We
opens.
need we need to do like quick overall thoughts and then we can get into like the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
So
Overall
like
thoughts? She's
overall
beautiful.
she is she is the most stunning theme park. I think the portals are genius in terms of
Yes.
continuity because instead of going from like Batu in Hollywood Studios to Toy Story Land where it's just like cut off and you just the portal makes it so that it's a much more immersive way to get into another themed land. Absolutely stunning. Celestial Park is what Epcot wants to be. Epcot wishes it was Celestial Park, in my opinion, because even
Although
down to the lights on the floors.
I will say there are some bits of Celestial Park that I was expecting more.
What
Like,
part?
I don't know if you probably did, but there's an area where you're walking and it's just like this big open space, and then you see Helios in the back, which oh my god, gorgeous
Oh
first of
my
all.
God, we'll get to it.
But you see Helios in the back, and at night it looks really cool because there are a ton of lights there. But during the day, I was like, is something supposed to be here? Like, I was a little confused. That's all I'm saying. I was hoping for a little more trees. But someone also said that, like, obviously all these trees in this entire park are new. So they'll be growing and becoming bigger. So maybe, like, that's the idea that one day it's going to be all, like, full covered and whatnot. But that was the
Yeah,
only part of Celestial Park where I was like, what is happening here? What was the
yeah.
point of this?
There were a lot of big open areas with like nothing in the center or anything like that. But I kind of like that because I feel like when it's really packed,
It'll
like
be a
it's
good
gonna
walk
be
through
nice.
spot.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, and so I know it looked funky because there weren't a lot of people when we went. I mean, there were a decent amount of people, but
There were a decent amount of people.
there weren't like as many as I'm assuming once the park opens. So I feel like I welcome the giant open areas that seem empty because I feel like they're just gonna be packed with people.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, loved Celestial Park. Definitely a 2 day park. I didn't believe people when they said it was going to be a 2 day park, but after I went, I was like, unless, in my opinion, I think unless you go and you just run through the whole park and you're just running around trying to get on everything and you don't take time to just like chill and get like a little drink in one of the lands and just like explore the little details and go around Harry Potter land, go around Isle of Berk looking through everything. You're not going to have time to do all of the casual looking and vibing and getting on all the rides. I definitely
Yeah.
think in that sense it's a 2 day park for sure.
Yeah, I think if you only have one day, definitely get the express pass. I was lucky enough to have the express pass.
I'm crying.
And I got on everything except Ministry because that just wasn't open, and I didn't do Yoshi just because I didn't care for it. But I got on everything. We did snacks, we did drinks, we were walking around, and we finished, and we still had 3 hours until the park closed.
Oh my gosh.
And there was some wait times that I think at the time that we went on Mario Kart, it was a 90-minute wait. By the time that we got to Monsters Unchained, that only opened at night and it was a 120-minute wait. We got on it in 20 minutes. Yeah. Like, I fully thought
So,
we were, because usually Express is like half the time of the regular
yeah.
line. So I fully thought, oh, we're going to get on this, not have time for anything else. And we still had time to get drinks afterwards and like walk around a little bit more. So
I'm so
I,
jealous.
yeah, if you can afford the Express Pass and you're only doing it for one day, 100% get the express pass. But if not, yeah, I think you definitely need more than one day to see the entire park and really experience the entire park.
Yeah, so that's currently what I'm debating about because I went in with no express pass and I did 3 rides.
Total?
Yes. I only got to do 3 rides
No.
total. So I did not get to do a lot of stuff. Yeah. It's okay though. It's okay because I'm grateful to have been able to go before it's officially open. Like who can say that? That's like a once
Right.
in a lifetime thing in general. And I already have tickets to go like a few days after opening. So I wasn't like stressing about trying to get everything done, but good to know that Express is worth it. So like I'm kind of now debating, do I upgrade my pass to the highest tier, get Express after 4 and do that, or buy another day and do like 2 days in a row essentially? Because my boyfriend and I are taking days off. So we could get another day and just like not worry about getting everything done in one day. Or I can upgrade my pass and get Express after 4, and whatever we don't get done during the day, we get done after 4.
Yeah, honestly, I think I will eventually upgrade my pass when they allow us to buy the annual pass for it and go to
Mhm.
Premiere because it's also just going to be really busy for months and months, if not years.
Yeah.
So I think having that express after
It'll be
4
worth
is
it.
gonna, yeah, it's gonna be really worth it.
Yeah, I think
I
so too.
also wonder if they'll have valet at this park,
They
because with
should.
the premier pass you get the free valet parking, and that parking lot is huge.
We got parked in premier parking because,
We were pretty close up because we got there early, but it was like, imagine not getting there that early and you're parked all the way in the back.
oh yeah, my friend who invited me has gone multiple times, obviously, and he got parked in the back one day. And he's like 6 feet tall. Like he's a tall dude. And he was running, like he was fast walking to the front and he timed it on his phone for me. And it was, I think, around 15 minutes.
Crazy.
Fast walking, long
Crazy.
legs. 15
Absolutely
minutes.
insane.
And there's no shade. It's not like the parking garage. So it's kind of like Disney's parking where you're just like boiling in the sun until you can get to the entrance.
Yeah. So I will be upgrading my pass.
I also will say, if we're already talking about parking, that I don't know if you noticed, but driving in, that's going to be hell on earth when there's a ton of people. Because essentially, when you drive
Because
in,
it's not
there's
that many
two
lanes.
there's
Yeah.
two turning lanes that you have to turn onto Epic Avenue Drive, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into a roundabout. But to get into the actual Epic parking, you take the first exit on the roundabout, but you have to be in the right lane. And everybody who's packed into that left turning lane and is in the left lane in the roundabout is gonna have to try and merge in with the right lane. It's going to be awful. So I'm happy I'm staying at Helios and I don't have to worry about that on the day that I'm going to try to get in for early entry or like in the morning. But definitely save a lot of time to actually get into the park because I think it's gonna be
It's
bad.
gonna be a lot. Yeah. So what was your favorite land?
Oh my God. Obviously, Isla Berg. I walked in and I didn't think I was actually gonna cry. I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry, but like I was like, I probably won't cry. I walked in, I didn't cry, but I shed tears. And then on one of the rides, I full on sobbed. Like tears were flying off my face.
So surprisingly enough, I walked in thinking I was gonna like Dark Universe and Isle of Berk the most. But when I walked into Super Nintendo World,
Mhm.
my mind was blown. Like, okay, maybe because I just watched How to Train Your Dragon not that long ago, although love the movies. If you haven't watched it, go watch them. They're beautiful. But I thought that was just gonna be it. But I was a Nintendo kid growing up, and like the way that I just felt like I was in the video game, my mind is still blown over it. I kept talking about it all day. I just wanted to go right back there. I have a picture on my Digicam that literally looks fake because there was no clouds. It was a clear blue sky. Literally mind blown. Literally mind blown. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. It was just freaking
It was
beautiful.
that Nintendo World was really, really cool. I ended up going right after the sunset and the sky was like a really dark blue and it was like the dark blue where like it's inside of in the Mexico Pavilion where it looks like it's nighttime and it's painted dark blue. And then so when I walked in, I was like, wait, is this indoors? And I was like, wait, no, we're outside. And it
Yeah.
looked so fake
No, I
because of
literally
the
have to show
sky.
this picture to the camera. Like, do you see that? That's a real photo. That looks fake.
That's insane.
She was just beautiful. I also really like how you go in through like the
Oh,
tube.
oh, the tube? Yeah, the tube is
Yeah.
really cool.
I just like that. Although Isle of Berk was also just gorgeous. I
I will be
think,
spending all of my time in Isle of Berg.
yes, the characters in Isle of Berk are on another level.
I know,
That I
and
will
like,
say.
I saw videos of them and I was like, yes, these like the videos are so good. But like seeing them in person, you're like, that's crazy. They're
Yeah.
so funny.
They're so funny. They know their characters so well. And like they're just on at all times. Even if people aren't like looking at them, they're just on.
One of my favorite parts was at one point they were walking and Rough Nut and Tough Nut are the siblings and they were not looking for anybody specifically. They were just walking and they were literally like fighting, like pushing and shoving each other in the
Yeah.
park and just like fighting each other as they were walking somewhere. And they're just like roam like they that is like the definition of a roaming character. It's not someone who's like waiting to for a line to come up to them. They're just like hanging out. And I hope that, well, there's a little controversy going on with the Hiccup character right now that
Because people are awful.
all I need to say about the Hiccup character is we need to stop posting thirst traps about someone who is portraying an animated child.
That, and we
That
need
is
to stop going up to these people who are
In
literally
person.
doing their job and asking for their phone numbers? Why are y'all doing that?
These people are going to get fired, and they are so talented and so good, and everybody is going to ruin it for everyone. So I need everybody to be respectful
Yep.
and not harass the actors who are absolutely amazing, talented, wonderful, beautiful people, and let them be so that everybody else gets to enjoy this is going to be so Disney coded, but like the magic that they're creating. Like,
No, but really, because also it's still just previews and you guys are already creating problems. Like, let's not make this even bigger to when the actual park opens that they literally have to take these characters out, because they will do that. Like, if
they will.
Universal thinks that their safety is at risk, they will take these characters out, and they're the magic of that land.
And we won't even get the roaming characters because I'm sure they'll take those away too.
Yep, exactly. So please, let's just act right.
Please, just be respectful, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Because they're perfect.
They're
Also,
perfect, wonderful.
talking about perfect, the nightlights.
I
My
get to
sweet
see them
babies.
in person.
My sweet baby. They're so cute. Universal, if you're listening, I will pay an ungodly amount of money to take one home.
I'm
I
pretty sure that it's going to cost more than an ungodly amount for you.
I will pay whatever you want to take one home.
Please.
So
The fact that they're
cute.
called nightlights is already so cute.
I know. And they like actually interact with people. We were playing Hiccup says, or Toothless says,
Yeah.
whatever. And like he was doing it. He was wiggling his little ears and like looking to the right, looking to the left. It was so cute. I love them.
Again, I will be spending all of my time in Isle of Berg.
I do not blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Okay, wait. Least favorite land. I feel like we may have the same,
Which one's yours?
the Harry Potter one.
Okay, so how do I put this? So yes and no. I think we didn't get to experience the full Harry Potter land because I don't know if they let you into the queue of Ministry of Magic, but they didn't even let me into the queue. It was like fully closed. And I feel like that is one really cool thing. Obviously the ride wasn't open when we went. And then the show in the circus tent, I don't know if it's just a really small like stage or whatever. Like I don't know if it's just small in there, but we got there 35 minutes early for it. And they were already at capacity. And they do them hourly. So we got there 30 minutes after the last one started. And it was already at capacity for the next one. So I feel like you have to spend way too much time in there to try to get into that show. And I don't know like how good it is, obviously, because I didn't get to see it. And then obviously we didn't get to experience the Ministry of Magic. And those are the two big selling points for that area. I was also told there was a lot of things that aren't open in that area yet. Like there's a bakery in there that wasn't open.
Okay.
There's other like storefronts that wasn't open yet. And so I'm wondering like what it'll be like when it is like fully available. I do think though the land is gorgeous. Like I think it's very photographable. I don't know if you went to the bar that's in there. The best bartenders. I will shout him out. You all team members, shout out to Roderick at that bar. This man was the funniest human being I have ever met. I was with Nathan, my husband, and I paid for our drinks and he was like, "Oh, you brought a sugar witch with you." And he was just like cracking every single joke possible. Like this man was everything in there. So I think that once that land is at like full capacity of like what it can do, it'll be magical. I was slightly disappointed with Dark Universe.
Really?
Just because I don't know, I was expecting more. And it was really small. So Dark Universe and Harry Potter are the two smallest lands. And it was really small and I was like, this is it? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still very cool. Like every single land is still very cool. But I was just like, this is it? And I don't know. I was expecting more. I only saw one character walking around in there, which was Igor. He was very funny too. Loved him. But I thought there was more characters that walked around. And
I saw more characters when I was there.
You did?
Yeah.
I went over there twice and only saw him.
I was
And
there,
only
like,
during
4
the
times.
day.
So maybe that's why.
And then, and then the tavern at night with the fire, it only lit up for like 10 seconds. And then it
I
like,
will say, I did think that the tavern, the burning windmill was going to be burning the whole time,
yeah.
but it doesn't. It just like sets on fire. It goes off for like a couple seconds and then it turns off. And then it's like every 15 minutes or something, it does that.
Yeah. It's still a cool land. And I actually really like the Curse of the Werewolf one. Or is that what it's called?
Okay. So my thoughts on Harry Potter and why it wasn't my favorite is because I feel like it was still really cool and it was still massive and it was still beautiful. And I think I didn't get to go inside the show either, but I would assume it would be like one of those ones where it looks small on the outside, but then when you go in, it like looks big. And like if that is the case, then that's such a cool element for them to include like the small tent, but it's big on the inside kind of magical
Mm-hmm.
vibe. And I also know there's tons of interactive stuff in the windows and
Yes.
everything, but it is just a T shape in terms of the path. Like it's a you walk in and then you can go left or right and then that's it. And I feel like I don't know. I just feel like again, it could be because not everything was open, but I was underwhelmed by the Harry Potter area. But I did go with a friend and that friend was crying when she went in. So I think it just depends on the person,
Yeah.
obviously. That's what these are, by the way. These are our opinions. You don't have to agree with us. We don't even agree on things. So that's what these are. But yeah, I was underwhelmed. Honestly, when I went to Dark Universe, I thought it was exactly what I would have wanted it to be. I can see why you're saying that you were disappointed a little bit by Dark Universe, but to me, Dark Universe, I was expecting like a small town, haunted-y, gothic-y feel.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first walked in, the first thing I noticed was like the line of sight was insane. Like I couldn't see any other part of the theme parks anywhere. I was so immersed in the land that I literally felt like I was just in this gothic small town. And that's exactly what it gave. Is it really small? Yeah, it's gonna be packed in there. It's gonna be so packed. But there was a lady walking around with a violin,
I did see her actually. Yeah.
her, and then we were at the tavern and I was waiting to pick up my food, and that was a whole other ordeal, but I'll explain that later. But a lady came out and she had like a Russian accent and she was like, I am the monster hunter. Do you see any monsters around here? And people are like, no. And she's like, that's right, because I killed the monsters. Ahoo! And then
I
everybody
love
goes,
that.
and like it was a whole thing and that was really fun. I saw Dracula walking around. So I saw some really cool characters. I saw Igor too. He's really funny.
He's fun.
And also at night, Dark Universe was insane. I really liked it.
I agree. It was cooler at night. I think my bigger problem with it, and it's not really a problem, I just think that people talked it up so much that I was expecting a lot. And then I walked in there and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I also think that like a lot of the people who are gonna be so utterly obsessed with Dark Universe and it'll be their favorite land because there are people whose like it's their favorite are the people who are like classic monsters, Universal people and have been following
Yeah,
them, and they're
for
like
sure.
extreme fans. And I think those people are not going to be disappointed. I think they're going to love
For sure.
everything about that land.
Yeah.
I'm not like I love the monsters. I love HHN, but I wouldn't call myself like a super fan, you know?
Yeah, that's valid. I
Yeah.
also have thoughts on the ride. Okay, so Monsters Unchained. We only got to go on it once, and it was at night because, which actually I'm kind of glad it was at night because I think it looked cooler going in there at night. But it was closed all day, so I don't know if that's like just because it was a preview day and obviously they're still working things out, or if it's just something with that ride that it tends to not be open all day. I have no clue.
So yes, just like quick interception is like yeah, it has the most downtime out of every ride. So when we were going, the plan was to try to get on it first if it's open because it breaks down all the time and it's barely open. So that might be something to keep in mind when you're going, whether for AP previews or actually is I think that the amount of tech in there, it's gonna be closed a lot. And I think the same might happen for Ministry too, honestly.
Yeah, Ministry now has a virtual queue
I
for
saw
it.
that. Okay. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get
But
to it.
anyways, so I think this was another one where it got talked up so much that I was so excited for it and it let me down just a little bit. I still think it's a cool ride. Like, do not get me wrong. I still think it's a cool ride. It has some really cool animatronics in there. Like, they look real. But it is essentially Forbidden Journey with monsters. So if you like Forbidden Journey, you will love this. If you don't like Forbidden Journey, you will not like this ride. It does have less screens than Forbidden Journey does. Like it doesn't have the big like giant screens. It's a lot more real sets, I guess, and animatronics. But it's the same vibe. It's kind of the same ride vehicle. It does the same kind of movements. So if you're someone who gets motion sickness from that, I would probably avoid it.
No.
Yeah. But it's still a cool ride. I was just expecting so much because everyone's been saying that that's like their absolute favorite ride in the entire park. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to blow my mind. People were saying it's even better than Stardust Racers.
Right, which
So
I was like, there's no way
yeah,
a Hogwarts Castle ride can be better than a dueling roller coaster.
Yeah. I guess it just depends on what you like. Like if you like roller coasters more, this is not going to be your favorite ride. But if you like those more 3D elements and kind of just taking you through stuff, then this will probably be your favorite ride.
Okay. Yeah. And then the werewolf one, The Curse of the Werewolf. I thought it was cute. I liked it. It's kind of like Cobra's Curse if you've been on that, where it's like a train and you sit in this vehicle and it's two people on each side and your backs are to each other with like a wall in the middle. And then based on your weight distribution, at one point it unlocks and like the things spin. It's not like crazy spinning. Yeah, it's not like teacups, but you do end up spinning a bit and it is a coaster and it is fun. I liked it, but I wouldn't wait more than 30 minutes for that.
I would
I feel like
agree.
it was very short.
It was very short. I really liked it though, and I like the idea that based on the people that are in your ride vehicle and where you're sitting, you'll get a different experience.
Yeah, that's true.
But I agree, it is a short ride, so I don't know if I would wait too long for it either.
Yeah, but it was better than what I was expecting because I feel like that's like the theme is like even the kiddie rides, I
We're
feel like
good.
are good for like adults can enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. We started off with werewolves and
Okay,
then we went over to Isle of Berk and I did the Hiccup. I did Hiccup's roller coaster. I don't
that was
remember what
cute.
it's called.
Hiccup swing gliders, something like that.
Yeah, I sobbed. I literally sobbed so hard, and I think it was because of the music that they played on the coaster.
I
I
was
would
jamming out
compare it
too. I was like,
I would
let's
compare
go.
it to like shorter Hagrids in terms of feeling like you're flying, but it's just like a shorter version. And my one bad thing about this coaster is the freaking lap bar destroyed my legs.
Yes,
It
it was
hurt
so tight.
so bad.
Yes. Oh my God, you just unlocked a memory. I was like, what? The
You
lap
said
bar.
I'm not even
But
like thinking
yes.
about that.
Oh my God, yes. I was
Dude,
in pain. I was trying to like move my legs around,
okay, so
but
I figured out
it
how
was
to do
locked
it
in.
so that it doesn't hurt. So if you sit where like your butt touches the back of the seat and you're sitting like properly up and down, when you pull the lap bar down, it only goes to like your mid thigh. And I'm 5'2", Shanika's 5 foot. But to me, it went to my mid thigh. It didn't go like all the way to my upper thigh where like a lap bar would typically go to. And as the train is moving and you're going through the coaster, it gets pushed down, kind of like on Hagrid's. It'll like just squish down more and more and more based on the G's from the coaster. By the part where the second animatronics is, where the eggs are, like, and they
Mm-hmm.
like hatch those little things, I was in so much pain. So what you end up doing is scooch down, like really slouch so that the restraint is in like the part where you fold your legs and
Okay.
then it's comfy. Then I didn't have a problem. But it being on the literal middle of my femur hurt so bad.
Yeah, I kept trying to move my legs and I was like, oh, this is just getting worse and worse.
I know. And I was like, dang, maybe I'm crying because of the pain. I don't know.
But that's good to know. Although, let me tell you, the Toothless animatronic on that ride, I cried.
I was
He was
crying.
so cute.
It
He
was
was so cute.
it was so good and it literally felt like you were flying. Like you went over the water at one part. It was so beautiful and scenic. It's literally like Hagrid's, just shorter, and I wish it was
I
longer.
wish it was longer too, I know. But it was
Yeah.
still a really good ride. I would go on it again,
Oh,
for sure.
I will be going on that all the time. Like honestly, that one is I know I only went on 3 rides, but that one is racing for the top for me right now. And then also the lockers, they're using Face ID, kind of like your phone, and even at night, so it works. And also all the lockers are larger size. So like if you've ever been to Universal, they have the really skinny rectangular lockers and those are free. But if you want a larger locker to fit a backpack, you have to pay for those. Those larger size lockers are the standard size now. And as far as I know, as of right now, they're free. You don't have to pay to use the lockers.
Yeah, I do wonder though if they'll have a problem with that because for express passes, they're also trying to do a face ID situation. So they'll scan it and then it scans your face to make sure that like you're the person for that express pass so people can't just like share. But there were a couple of rides that they had problems with the face recognition and so they had to keep bypassing it. So I
Mm.
wonder if like that'll become a problem
I
with the
was it, do you think
lockers.
it was like a lighting issue?
I don't think so. A lot of them were indoors.
Hmm.
Like, so I don't think so.
Yeah, because the lockers worked fine when it was super dark out. It took the picture and it was literally just like black when it showed the picture back, but it still opened the correct locker and it still worked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
that's what
It
I'm
could have
saying. I
just
feel
been
like it's
technical difficulties that day, I guess. But
very
I wonder if they
possible.
just have like a backup plan for it. They probably do.
Probably.
Did you
What
do
did you do?
the Dragon Racers Rally, I think?
No.
Okay, so that ride, kind of fun, really short. I think I'm too dumb for it.
My friend said that you're able to somehow try and go upside down.
Yes. So pretty much you're in the seat and you have two wings next to you and you can control the wings. And that's the whole point, is that you should be able to like go side to side and flip based on like how you're doing the wings. I could not figure it out. I was up there flapping these wings and I was like, am I moving? And I'm seeing everybody else move and I'm just like still sitting still. And then I hear this kid behind me, because basically I think it was like 3 or 4 rows of these. So I hear this kid behind me was like, oh, you have to move your whole body to the sides. I was like, and still nothing. So I need to go on it again because I think I was too dumb to figure it out. And if someone who knows science and how like gravity works could let me know, that'd be great. But there were people that were flipping it like fully upside down, or like would get 75% of the way there before it like turned you back.
Yeah, I saw there was, while I was in line for Hiccup's roller coaster, I saw there was someone who flipped upside down, but they were like, they stayed upside down until the
Oh,
arm like went back around and then they flipped, but they were hanging upside down for like, it had to be like 5, 10 seconds. I was like,
that's what I was hoping would happen. I was just too dumb to figure it out.
oh my God.
And the funny part is that that ride is meant for like kids, I think. So like, if a child can figure it out and I couldn't, I'm gonna be so upset.
Oh no. Did you end up meeting Toothless or watching the show?
No, I wanted to
Yeah.
meet Toothless. I did see him, but he had a long line, and then the person that was with him, I think, left for a bit. So it would have been like another 30 minutes for them to come back, and then like I didn't. But I will be needing to go back to meet Toothless.
Yeah, same. I heard that during team member previews that he had an hour wait.
Yeah.
What land did you go into next?
Then we did Mario. Love her, my heart. Donkey Kong. Did you ride that?
No.
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 No, that was such a fun ride. I actually really liked it. I would wait for it again. It's really cool because there's parts of it. So basically, there's 2 tracks. So there's a fake track, and then the real like roller coaster track is under, but you can't really see it. So there's points where you don't know like where the coaster is gonna turn you, because all the characters are like messing with the track and they've like broken it. So there's like pieces of the track that you can see that's like missing, and then like, Donkey Kong will come out of the side and it like jerks you in the opposite direction, and it was so fun.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love that ride. And then Mario Kart was also really fun. Don't know if I would wait too long for it, because I think the wait was 90 minutes when I went, but obviously we had Express. I don't know if I would wait that long for it, but it's a cool like experience because you're pretty much playing the game. First they give you the little Mario hat, and then you get the glasses and you see the little characters on your glasses. So it's not like big screens, they're like right there, and then you're shooting at them and it'll tell you like, turn the wheel this way, turn the wheel that way, and it'll spin you if like you messed up or whatever, if someone throws a banana at you. And it was really fun. It does go a bit slow, I will say. I would hope because it's Mario Kart it would go a little faster. It does not, but it's a fun game.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait 90 minutes, but maybe like 40 minutes I would wait for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah, when I walked into the Nintendo world, my first thought was I was like, I'm so overstimulated. Because there's so many things moving, and every single moving piece of this land is making its own noise and sound. And so when I walked in there, I was like, oh my God. But I personally really liked the Donkey Kong area a lot. I loved the
Yeah.
tropical vibes. I thought that the waterfall thing on the building was really, really cool. I loved that area so much.
Yeah, that was my favorite land. I could spend all day there. It is very overstimulating, but I kind of loved it. And I want to go back and okay, because at first I walked in there and I was like, I'm not gonna buy that bracelet thing to interact with all the different parts of the land. I kind of want to go back and buy the bracelet thing to
No,
interact
because
with all
you
the
can
parts
connect
of
it
the
to
land.
the app, and like you can even unlock like different areas, like actual areas in the land to go to and do like secret challenges and stuff.
Yeah, so I will be purchasing that,
Yeah.
unfortunately for me,
Yeah.
next
I
time I
think I
go.
might need it too.
Because there was people like just pressing all the boxes, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they also had a bunch of characters. Like when we first walked in there, Princess Peach was out. And then at one point, Mario and Luigi came out. And then I saw videos that like Toad also comes out.
Oh,
So
Toad.
I know, he's so cute. I want to know how that costume works.
I'm just gonna pretend. I'm not gonna try to figure it out.
Last but not least, there's Stardust Racers. That was a good ride.
I did both. I ended up doing both sides.
Oh, did you? I
Yeah.
only did the one, the
Okay.
green.
So
Which one
you
did you
did.
like more?
Okay. So here's my final verdict is I know people are saying the green one is more intense. I
Yeah.
don't agree. I
Interesting.
actually think the yellow is more intense. The yellow has more G's. So like you feel like you're getting shoved into your seat. Actually, there are so many G's on the yellow one that I am a hands up on a roller coaster kind of girl. And I do
Yeah.
that all the time on Velocicoaster. And the only time I struggle keeping my hands up on Velocicoaster is during the second launch for obvious reasons. This ride, I could not keep my hands up. My neck, this neck shoulder part, I actually started cramping because of how hard it was to keep my hands up because of the G's like pushing down that my literal muscles started cramping. And so that didn't
Interesting.
happen to me on the green side. So the yellow side I think is more intense, but the green side has a cooler inversion, and I think it has a cooler view of the yellow side. The yellow side doesn't see as much of the green side as the green side sees of the yellow, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I think if you would rather have a cooler inversion that's more unique and like really fun, and you would rather be able to see the other coaster racing around you, because essentially the yellow one will like go over, up, around, side to side, like it's essentially going around the green the whole time. If you'd rather see that, and oh my God, at night, oh, at night it was so good, the lights on it. So if you would care more about the visuals, I would do green side because both of them are still intense and they're such good rides. But if you care more about feeling like the G's and the like a good intensity of the ride, I would go with the yellow side
Yeah,
personally.
I only got to do the green side, and I know you texted me like earlier in the day, like, "Oh my God, Stardust Racer is better than Velocicoaster," and I walked off and I was like, "There's no way she thinks this is better than Velocicoaster."
If you do the yellow side, I think
Okay.
that you would, unless, but it also depends what you prioritize because this one only has one upside down. If you prefer and like all the inversions on a roller coaster, this isn't going to be your favorite over Velocicoaster because Velocicoaster goes upside down multiple times. This one only goes upside down once. Velocicoaster's second launch, I think, is still better than the launches on this coaster. So if you prefer a
Okay.
launch and you think that's what makes your coasters, then you'll still like Velocicoaster better. But if you prefer like the G's or like the visuals of something, I think that this would be your favorite over Velocicoaster.
Good to
It
know.
just depends.
I will say I do have one complaint about Stardust when it comes to Express. That is the only one where I think Express is not as worth it because one, you meet the regular line very early on. With the Express Pass, it's before the lockers, and there's still a ton of line left after the lockers. And two, if you have the Express Pass, you can't use it twice for Stardust. So you can only use it once, and then you have to pick a side. So if you want to try the other side, you have to
wait.
use the regular line, which I feel like doesn't make sense because it is two different rides technically.
Well, yeah, because with Express, you can only use it once per ride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think they have like one higher up tier of Express that it's unlimited, but I didn't have that Express. I just had the one that you can use one per ride. And so that's why I didn't do the other one because we didn't want to wait in line all over again. And I did the green side, and the green side broke down at one point too. So we were in line. Half our group went yellow, half our group went green. And we got off like 25 minutes after they did because green broke down and they were still running yellow. Which also, that makes me think like, does that suck then as an experience on yellow? Because then you're not racing and you don't see the other coaster.
Well, yellow, you don't see the coaster as much as green. So I feel like it would suck more for green if yellow
Okay,
was
interesting.
down.
Yeah.
But okay, I will say too, I was waiting in that line. I think we just didn't have the best luck. Every single ride we waited in line for, we did standby, broke down.
Oh.
Every single one we waited in line for broke down. So for Stardust specifically, we got in line and it said it was like a 45-minute wait, but the line looked like it was going to be like 25 or 35 minutes. So we were like, this is awesome. Nay, we waited over an hour because the first they said sorry, we're operating at limited capacity because one side was down. So they started trying to take people from both sides to get onto one coaster, and that's gonna slow down everything. Then
Yeah.
it broke down completely. Nobody was able to get on anything. Then they went back to limited capacity, and then it finally opened up to both sides working. And we were lucky that by the time we got there, both sides were working. So I got to experience it both times that I went with both of the coasters racing. But I will say I do love that they were dedicated to launching them at the same time every
Yeah.
time. Because I know for Dueling Dragons, after a while, they stopped caring about them going at the same time, and that was kind of lame. Like it would, the whole point was to be able to race at the same time. And for Dueling Dragons, and then also when they remade it to Dragon Challenge, they stopped caring about launching them at the same time. So I hope that they continue to launch these at the same time because that is like the most fun part is you're like racing and you're like trying to beat the other people. But yeah, definitely broke down a lot. I know
Yeah.
we're still in technical rehearsals, so
That's what
that's
I was
also a
gonna
thing to
say.
keep in mind.
Disclaimer, like it is still technical rehearsal, so they are still trying to figure it all out. And I'm sure once the park opens, it'll be a lot more consistent because they've
Yeah.
had this time to
But
test it so
also
much.
Monsters Unchained, I'm horrified to go back into that queue because it opened up during the day for an hour and we ran over because it was right after we rode Stardust. And it said it was a 25-minute wait, but the queue line was at the portal entry. And
Yeah, that was never gonna be 25 minutes.
the queue entry for Monsters Unchained is actually like in the very back of the land, if that gives you an idea. And so we got in line, but it was moving pretty quickly. So I was like, oh, maybe it's just because everyone filed in and like they're just getting people through the queue. So we had been in the queue for about an hour. And then we got stuck. And I don't know if you were in this room because I don't know if Express goes through the same rooms or not,
Is
but
it the
there
one
was
with
a
all the
room
lights?
with all the lights and there was a bat inside of this like circle. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So we were stuck in there for 45 minutes. I wanted to die because there was a ton of strobing lights, loud sounds constantly. Like I put my sunglasses on and it was freezing in there. And I posted it on my stories about getting stuck in there and that if you get stuck in there, just leave. Like it's
Just
not worth
like
torturing yourself. And I had people being like, "Oh, I work maintenance there and I have to clean that room and I always go in with sunglasses and like earplugs because it's the worst room." Like we couldn't have stopped the noise at least. Like the lights fine, but the noise it is the worst room to get stuck in. And after that, I mobile ordered the garlic pretzel thing. And there's one mobile order window, and the line was 30 minutes long to pick up your mobile order.
wow.
So, fun tip is if you go to the Burning Tavern and you want to try that garlic pretzel steak, like
Steak.
Stake, um, I think it was a little overhyped. It's still good. I think
Interesting.
it was a little bit overhyped, but I would just go inside and order it inside, and I think you would get it faster than if you mobile ordered it and waited in that line because that was insane. Every single ride I went on broke down and I waited probably 20 to 45 minutes extra for each thing.
That sucks, but that's what we get for going during a preview.
Yeah, no, definitely. It wasn't like unexpected or like
Yeah.
whatever, but I'm just scared for Monsters Unchained and Ministry because from experience with like Rise and all of these other newer rides that have a lot of technology, they end up breaking down even after they've officially opened. And so I'm really hoping all of these technical rehearsals, the technical rehearsals during the AP previews, they're like able to figure it out so when people are coming and paying to go that it's
That it's
like
all
it
figured
doesn't
out. Yeah.
it's not broken down for like 12 hours out of a 14-hour day or something.
I will say that's one thing with Ministry of Magic, like the line and the whole virtual queue that I think will be interesting to see, especially because they did make that queue so large that it was meant to fit. I think someone said 8 hours worth of a line.
Holy.
That yeah, that's how big it is in there, which is why I'm kind of sad we didn't get to go in and see it. I'm interested to see how the virtual queue will work because part of me hates virtual queue because you always have to like fight for it and wake up early sometimes. And I think they're doing 3 drops throughout the day for it.
They are.
But someone said that you can sign up for multiple virtual queues. So you
You
could
could try to
have,
write it twice in one
yeah,
day.
like you could have it already and then go in and try to sign up for it later in the day, which I think will make it a little bit hard for people to write it because it's going to be a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
Which, so that part I don't like, but I also like the fact that then you don't have to wait in 8 hours of a line.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about. So my friend tried it. They launched the first virtual queue yesterday, and my friend tried it, and she said the app completely froze and just shut down. And there were tons of people there for team member previews, like complaining, asking people to fix the app, like just fix it. I just want to get my virtual queue. It's like, I don't work on apps. I don't know what you want me to do about
Yeah.
that. But yeah, apparently the entire app just like froze and shut down because it couldn't handle it. And I'm glad they're testing this out now because if that
Yeah.
were to have happened on opening day, oh my God, it would have been a nightmare. But what I'm scared of is that sometimes even with a virtual queue, you still have to wait a long time. And the fact that there are only 3 drops and the first one starts at noon, supposedly, makes me scared that you're still gonna have to wait in a long line. It just won't be 8 hours. It might be like 2 hours. And
See, but
so,
I'd rather wait in a virtual queue and be able to do other things
yeah,
in the
I
park.
agree. I would just wish that with the virtual queue, or hope, I guess, that it won't be a 2 hour wait even. It'll be like a 30-minute wait, 45-minute wait, but not like hours and hours, because then I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm also wondering like how they're gonna do that. Do you have to be in the park? Just how do you just need
I
a
think
ticket
you
for that
have to
day?
be in the park.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, for that piece of it, I'm glad that they are doing multiple drops throughout the day, because one thing that always bothered me with Disney is that with my annual pass, I can only go weekdays and I work weekdays. So by the time that I got to the park to be able to join a virtual queue, because one, I wasn't waking up for the 7 a.m. one, but for the 1 p.m. one that you had to be in the park, like that was already far gone. There was a 0% chance of me being able to get a virtual queue. So I like that these ones has some later in the day, so I can still go after work and attempt to get a virtual queue spot.
Yeah.
I just hope that they don't pack it in so much that you then miss the cool visuals of the Ministry of Magic because there's just so many people in there.
Yeah, I agree. Another crazy thing is that the food takes so long. And I know a lot of like the snack booths weren't open around the park yet, but the ones that were had huge lines. And then anything other than the snack booths, your main options for food are sit down. So you have to sit down, mobile order your food on your phone, scan your table, and then wait for them to bring you your food to your table. And again, this was during technical rehearsal, but I will also say that there weren't as many people there as there are going to be once the park opens. And it took so long to get the food. And so I don't know if I could, as of right now, obviously we're going back so we can give updated thoughts, but I don't know if right now I can recommend actually taking time to sit down for a lunch, especially if you're only doing one day. Like, I don't think you're gonna have time for that.
Yeah, I would say if you really want to, try to do it at an off time. Because I went to Toadstool Cafe and it was right around lunchtime and that took forever. I mean, we did also have a really large group, so I will say like that played a factor into it because obviously like we had I think 11 people. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, because there was 2 team members who like brought all of us together. So we had 11 of us total. So obviously it took a while for them to figure out seating. And at one point we just had to say like, oh, it's okay. We can our group up and sit separately. But I think we waited maybe like 30 or 40 minutes to even get a table. And then it took some time on top of that to get our food. And we had mobile ordered ahead. So the moment that we sat down, we were able to just put like our table number and it still took quite a while. And one person at my table also had allergies. And he said that when he ordered, he couldn't put the allergies in the app. So we had to wait for one of the team members to come over and ask him about his allergies. And then she had the chef in her ear as he was like telling her. But then I don't know what happened if he just had like a complicated allergy. I'm not really sure. But then the chef had to come out and speak to him. And so it took him even longer to get his food. And I know his was like modified a ton because also everything that they had was essentially like pre-made. It's a theme park. They're not making anything fresh back there, but everything is pre-made. So he had to like alter his meal quite a bit for it to work because I guess his allergy was just in everything. So just keep that in mind. It does take quite some time, and if you have allergies it's going to take even longer.
Yeah, I saw
So
that in the app. That's why I went to a barbecue place that I'd give it like a 5 out of 10 to be honest. But you can't, because in another place that we wanted to go to had like burgers or sandwiches and I wasn't sure about like a sauce and I was like, "Oh, I'll just like uncheck the sauce button and I don't like want sauce in mine." They're not customizable like that on the Universal app like they are on Disney's app. And you have to wait, like you said, for a team member to come talk to you, and that all takes time. So definitely keep that in mind.
yeah, so if you really want to sit down, don't go during peak hours. Try to go at like 3 p.m. or something.
Yeah, or like earlier in the morning and do like an early lunch or something. But overall, it's my new favorite park. I'm obsessed.
I will find it hard, like once I can add it to my annual pass, saying I want to go back to Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure over Epic.
I
Except for
feel
Velocicoaster. I will always go back for Velocicoaster.
I feel like personally I will want to go back to Universal and Islands for the nostalgia because I went there a ton as a kid. And I think I will struggle more with wanting to go back to Disney.
Ah,
You
that's,
know, I
yeah.
don't know. I feel like I'm gonna struggle more with wanting to go back to Disney, and I think that I will be at Epic Universe all the time. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah. What I am curious to see is like what the wait times at Islands and Universal will be like once Epic opens.
We should check the app on like opening day, just out of
Yes.
curiosity.
Like, will Hagrid's finally be a good enough wait time for me to want to
Do
go
we
wait for it?
go to Islands
On opening day?
on opening day when
Wait,
the wait
let's
times
see.
might be down?
Let's see. What day of the week is that?
It's
May
like a
22nd?
Wednesday.
It's a Thursday. We can do that.
Okay, okay. Because then we could ride
We can finally ride Hagrid's during the
for
day.
the first time and not wait 1,000 years.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this park to open. I'm so excited for everyone to be able to come and enjoy it. I'm so excited to just explore the rest of the park and to just be able to work from my remote job from there, to read
Yes.
from there. There's so many like hangout areas. I was like clocking all of them, like, okay, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here.
There is one spot in Paris, Harry Potter, that
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God, this is the
Where?
spot. It was outside the bakery, so it might be full once it actually opens. But had the cutest little bistro tables, and you just have like the Parisian feel around you. And I was like, oh, yeah, this
Yeah.
right here, yeah.
I know. I also found like a really shaded nook. It's like a little divot inside of a wall, but like I feel like that would be kind of like perfect there.
That would be iconic.
But yeah, let us know what your most anticipated land or portal is. Let us know if you're anticipating any foods or snacks, what your favorite ride is that you think you're gonna ride, if you already have like a strategy plan for when you're um are you staying at Helios? Are you gonna drive in? Like
Are
just
you
let
dressing
us know.
up?
Oh my God, are you dressing up? And also, which land are you dressing up as? Or are you bringing multiple outfits?
Yeah, let us know. I'm so excited to go back. I cannot wait. T minus 1 month and a couple of days, and we'll be there.
And we'll be there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh my God. Thank you for listening, and I will see you at Epic Universe. Bye,
Bye,
bestie.
guys.